Today, I look like crap because I have a cold again, or not so much again, I think it's the same cold. I had a little bit of a runny slash stuffed nose when I went back to work, and I think I went back too soon, and then I got sick worse again, and I've been home now since Thursday, and the last 3 videos I uploaded were actually from last week, and I am waiting patiently to be able to go back to work because I miss it terribly, and it's really a shame having to call in sick, and I don't want them to think that I don't like that place. Obviously, I don't know why they would think that, but I love it so much, and I basically want to stay there forever. We'll see what happens with that. Maybe it's not the best place for me, because when I do get sick, I get sick for kind of a long time, and this is what happens. But they know that. It's okay, and it's not a bad cold. Today I bought a comic, a Superman comic, Red Sun, if you're familiar with it. It's like an alternate thing where Superman, instead of landing in the little farm in Smallville, he lands in the Soviet Union, and it's really interesting. Actually, it was recommended by a friend of mine, and that got me thinking about friends and how I have really awesome friends these days that I made the last couple of years, and I'm very lucky actually, because I remember sitting here maybe no more than 10 years ago, but say maybe ish, last 10 years, like just wishing to have friends that they're very similar to myself, with the interest and the things we could talk about, and I have few friends, and they're close, and they we obviously have things in common, but throughout the years it's been like on and off, and especially I had a childhood friend of mine, and we were best friends, so to speak, when growing up. If I don't know if we had like that label, but if I had to label it, we were best friends, and she was basically my only friend growing up, and quite literally for many years, and except for a few temporary friends on and off, and ever since I was maybe 18, 19, I've had more permanent friends that I still know today, and I'm very lucky, and they're awesome. But just the last couple of years, maybe 5 years, I really gotten to know some awesome people, and I'm so grateful, because it's just like one girl I got to know off of YouTube. She's actually Swedish, and she only lives a couple hours away from me with her boyfriend, but I've never been able to meet her. But she's pretty awesome. We've been talking for about 4 years or something now, and to think that is quite amazing, because I've never met her, so she feels like she's more of a casual online friend. But then I realized that, my God, I've known her for like 3-4 years, and that's crazy to imagine. There was another, surprisingly, off of Tumblr, that when I was a teenager, I used to sit and talk on different message boards and get to know people, both locally and not so much, and internationally too. and now I don't really, except for on YouTube. It's where I connect with people and actually have discussions, comments, private messages, and but this girl off of Tumblr, I actually wrote to her because I liked her blog, and we both liked Star Trek and had shared the same favorite characters, and seemed to have other shows and fandoms in common. So I wrote to her and just said, hey, nice blog, and one thing led to another. Turns out she is Russian, and she's pretty awesome. We have a lot of things in common. We're pretty similar opinions and things that we like when it comes to nerdy stuff, and I've been talking to her for almost 2 years now, which is crazy to imagine, but only through texts, messages that we've been, well, not text messages like SMS, but on Tumblr. So I don't know her like as such, but she's pretty awesome. There's another guy I got to know off YouTube that I left a comment on his video, and then suddenly we had each other on Skype, and we've been talking all the time. And then there's another guy that actually recommended this Superman comic to me. He said that it was practically the only Superman comic he'd ever read, and he said that it was interesting and it made him like Superman. And I was like, you mean you like Superman? You don't like Superman? I love Superman. And he was like, sorry, I'm one of those people. But I forgave him. instantly because, well, he did read a comic, and I had never even read a Superman comic, not that I remember at least. And then he emailed me the other day, yesterday, and no, it was, I saw it this morning, earlier this morning actually. Woke up and I saw that I had an email, and he was like, well, the one that I talked about, Red Sun, is on sale now on this website. And I was like, oh my gosh, I even have an account there. So I bought it. I did it. I paid for a comic book. It has started. It is the, I have two friends now, like comic books, and he's one of them, so he's just adding pile to it, and now it's just down the rabbit hole into hell, you know. I'll be crawling down into hell, and suddenly I'll probably become one of those nerds quite obsessed with comic books or something, which I look forward to because it's a big part of nerd life, isn't it? To like comics, so I think it's very much about time that I like it that I say that wearing my Superman tee. Oh, it's so beautiful. So actually, it hit me when I was sitting on it's a digital one, so I just bought it, downloaded it, read it on my iPad. And I was reading a Superman comic and wearing my Superman tee. I'm like, this fucking life. And I was drinking tea. I was like, this is truly my life. This is exactly what I want to do and who I want to be, and it's amazing. Sorry. I'm hoping to... I have 2 issues left. I read the first one. I'm psyched to read the other 2 because it's pretty damn great. And I have other recommendations from my other friend. And I'm probably going to start reading comics on and off now. And I'm pretty excited about that. And I'm actually cooking. And I'm so warm, I'm sweating. Because just doing anything makes me warm. But I don't have a fever. And I almost wish that I had, like, knock on the wood, because I don't really want to feel worse. But at the same time, if it was more of an heavy fever and an infection or something, I could just go and be like, give me antibiotics, and it could actually work. But now it's just like regular cold, basically, and I just have to live with it. And I've been watching a really cool Swedish show too that the mother heard of, actually, that I realized that I'd heard of before because a friend of mine mentioned it, but I never got around to watching it. And then my aunt told Mother and I about it the other day, and I said, sounds familiar. And then Mother and I started watching it together. It's only 10 episodes, so it's pretty cool. So it's gonna be good, and I have a new kettle that Mother bought me as a gift. It's super nice because it's one I've been wanting for a couple of years, and now I freaking have it, and it's so freaking beautiful. But I'm not gonna spoil it by I'm gonna show you properly later. I just wanted to talk about the awesome friends I met lately, and the comics that I like, and the things that I'm doing, and that I have a cold, and what's happening, and so it's gonna be good. And tomorrow is, you know, Valborg. It's like when we celebrate spring, and we have this bonfire, and I think it's gonna be pretty good. So I'm gonna go out there with my aunt because Mother worked this year supposedly. So supposedly she does work. So but I'm gonna run it up and stop talking and go eat dinner. That's basically ready now. So thank you. Bye.